recording time! Here we are, the podcast heroes, discuss Toku like never before. Legion, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go, 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 fly, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, go Legion of Boo, Legion of Boo!
Alright, welcome to the Legion of Boom podcast.
What's up, what's up?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all I am your man Genka Herb.
I am Sentai Faibu.
Hi, Sunglass Pre. Again, they asked me back.
And I'm the macabre chick.
Yo, say your name one more time, Ash, because you kind of broke up.
And I'm the macabre chick.
Say it one more time.
I'm the macabre chick.
Every time you say chap, you break up.
Every time you say chap, you cut out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, something with how the microphone's picking it up and cutting out with the P's.
Say macabre chap one more time.
I'm the macabre. And I'm the macabre chick.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
That's incredible.
Say chap.
That didn't even work that time.
Ash, say chap.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. He had to sneak it in that time.
Yeah. Alright, anyways. Now we got that settled out.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so what we're doing today, Five? We're singing happy birthday to Super Sentai.
Oh yeah. Super Sentai turns 43 today. With the premiere of Go Ranger back in 1975.
Super Sentai's old.
Nah, it's young.
It's older than all of us, so.
Yeah.
Super Sentai's got a mortgage and 2 kids. Yo.
Send off a kid to college soon too. Damn.
No.
Super Sentai Boston only says he's kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Doug. Okay, so I want to start off by saying, what Super Sentai mean? We talking about Kamen Rider too, because Kamen Rider also had a birthday.
Yes, we can talk about Kamen Rider.
Let's start with Kamen Rider since he's the big brother.
Turning the big 4-7.
Yeah, the big 4-7. Jesus.
I remember when it just turned 35 when Kabuto aired.
Good God.
That felt like yesterday, man.
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like Kamen Rider is like I'm not to anti-hype, but I don't like it as much as Sentai.
Right.
I don't hate it, but I like Sentai a little more. But Kamen Rider.
See, Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Let me finish. Cause I want to say something nice.
Sorry to step on your toes.
I want to say something nice. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider. You know what I'm saying? But it's always been like the stylish, like the stylish one with like the It always has that recurring theme of like, yo, we can take this bad thing and turn it into a good thing. You know what I mean? Like how every writer is like, it's like their power comes from something that was once evil, but they use it to do something good.
Using the villain's power against them.
To be fair, with Kamen Rider, especially in recent times, they've been a lot more, I want to say, lax in that sort of thing. Not with the most recent seasons, but like Forza, I keep wanting to say Forza was really sort of oblique with it, and sometimes they play with that more than other seasons nowadays. But I see where you're coming from. Sentai feels like it can handle more varied premises because of the fact that literally the only thing all of them have in common is that you've got 3 to 5 people. Well, now with Q Ranger, 8 people, or was it 9? I forget. It was 9.
9.
You've got like a whole bunch of people who all have suited forms and they pilot giant robots occasionally, which you can do a lot of different things with that. So it feels like they can have more of a variety of stories as a result.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider is sponsored by Honda because they got the motorcycles.
Always. But yeah, I obviously, judging by my name, Sentai 5, I gravitate more towards Sentai more than Rider, but I love Rider to death as well, but it's at the end of the day, it's always going to be me gravitating a little bit more towards Sentai because obviously I got into it because of Power Rangers, and Power Rangers is like always my first love for like the whole superhero genre, no matter what. And besides the whole like teamwork aspect, I guess, it's just what Priest said. Costume heroes and giant robots.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Yeah, I'm going to do what you guys call anti-hyping because I'm actually not nearly as big of a Sentai fan as you guys are. Kamen Rider was what got me into Toku, and it's still what I love. And more recently than that, Ultraman's what I've really fallen in love with, as most people know from Twitter or various places. That being said, there are a lot of Sentai series that I really, really enjoy. It's just, I think because of the fact that there's not a central unifying theme between the seasons, what makes me really enjoy a Sentai season is a lot more specific. So if I don't get that specific, like, I guess, cast dynamic going on with it, it's tough for me to get invested in like the giant robots or the fight scenes or the overall tone of it. So as a whole, I'm not that big of a fan of Sentai, but there are a lot of Sentai seasons that I really, really love. Aba Rangers, one of them. Tokyuger, I said it again, Tokyuger. You're going to yell at me for that again. I know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Those are really, really good series. Go Busters was the first one that I saw, and I loved Go Busters because it was so different from what I was expecting from a Sentai.
Yep.
Go Busters, big raw.
It's
Go
really
Busters
good.
is the go. Stop talking, Ash.
The hot mid.
He said hot mid.
Oh man, I can't wait for Go Busters for my rewatch before Beast
Morphos.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that again.
No, man.
I'm gonna join you on that rewatch still.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Man. Yeah, I want to give it another chance.
All right. If you do that, I'll give Tokyuger another chance.
Okay, cool. Oh,
See,
yeah, I love
Tokyuger, I
Tokyuger.
would very much recommend giving another chance because I got about like 10 episodes or in before, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, but I wasn't getting that excited about it. And it wasn't until they started doing more with revealing the kids' backstories and more about what's going on with the Shadow Line and showing more of the conflict between the Shadow Line generals and stuff like that. It wasn't until they started building the overarching plot more that I started getting more invested in Tokyuger. And then it wound up being my single favorite Sentai of all time. So it's really worth sticking with because it builds steam.
But yeah, I'll give it another shot because I watched it on a weekly basis, and I'm like, this show is so boring for me. I can't it was not because it was too different, but it's like I've seen the stuff that they've been doing in other shows already. It's nothing new to me. But the way they pieced everything together towards the end was, I think, pretty satisfying though. I did like the ending arc for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tokyuger a lot. It's one. I wouldn't say it's on like my top 5 or anything Sentai I've seen, but I think it was a really good Sentai, especially with like the kids' backstories, like the way that they pieced that stuff together and how they've obviously initially they said that the kids were dead, but what they really meant is kids' memories were dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the kids thought that like the main Sentai members were like halfway through when they started realizing how their memories were missing and everything. They thought, wait a second, are we dead? And then that actually, not spoiler alert, doesn't turn out to be the case. But that's what they originally assumed.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I thought they were in some kind of like, I guess, vegetative state. I don't know.
Or like it was all a dream and they're in purgatory and all that sort of thing.
That's what I thought it was going to end up being. I'm like, oh, if this ends up being like one big dream, I swear to God, man. But I did like the mystery behind it in the very beginning of the show because I was like, wow, the whole team is pretty much good as dead, as Ticket said.
I thought it was interesting, like, because it's kind of easy. Like after a while, it's easy to catch on what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you notice their memories, the flashbacks it's always them as the same age of children. Like you never see them as teenagers or in between or anything. So it becomes a little more obvious over time. And then I love that scene where they go to the hyper. Not to spoil Tokyuger, but there's a scene where they go to the hyper terminal and they look in the mirrors.
Oh yeah.
And that's when and that's where you figure out what's really going on. And I'm like,
that's a good reveal too. Then because then they immediately deal with like the consequences of that and like, oh, you guys lied to us, and what are we supposed to do now? And it brings in a new level to this show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it in a natural way, but they deal with all the questions that the audience would naturally have about what's going on too, which I think is really good.
Right.
It also makes them the raw Sentai of all time because spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
guess it's
So
okay.
everybody who's listening to this who has not seen Tokuger yet, go watch Tokuger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it another shot. Don't worry.
No, because not like I always thought when they fought, it looked like they were just having fun on a playground.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. That's why a lot of people liked it because like the fights were so random.
Yeah, and it made sense. It made sense later.
Yeah.
Those of you that have seen Tokuja, who's your favorite character?
Akira.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Akira for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
He,
Zara.
he is one of my favorite
Definitely.
characters of all time in Sentai. He's so good.
Kagura.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's great too.
Fair enough.
But I like all the kids, so all of them are good. There are no wrong answers to that question.
Yeah, it really isn't. I know if John was here, he would say Tokachi.
He would because he is Tokachi.
He is Tokachi.
Tokuja has some of the strongest characters we've seen ever in a Sentai.
Yeah,
That's what saves it because the story's not great.
their personalities are very strong. Like,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
like I love that. There's one scene. This is how good Tokuja is. Cause I've only seen it once, and there's one scene I'll never forget. It's all of their it shows all their personalities. Like Wright's walking, holding food, and Wright's walking, holding food. Sakashi's got some books, and Hikari's just walking way in the back by himself with his hands in his pockets. And I'm like, yo, but even without saying anything, you can tell like what these guys are supposed to be like. Like you can see their personalities.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really liked about Tokuger, and this is more of a personal thing, is that a lot of sort of the stories, especially when they start doing flashbacks to what they were like as kids, reminded me a lot of some friends and I, and what we had like when I was like 8 years old and we were running around our neighborhood in the summer. Like it has that sort of feel when they do the kids. It's kind of weird talking about it because I think they authentically show what childhood is like and what a child's perspective was like, but it's coming from an adult's perspective in retrospective, which, again, not to spoil Tokuger again, is very appropriate for the show.
Yeah, it is.
The secret base. Their secret base.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Definitely.
Yeah. So let's move on. Like, what's y'all?
We don't want to talk entirely about Tokuger.
Yeah. What's y'all favorite Sentai?
We just talked about it.
I don't even have a favorite. I don't even have a favorite. I can name some of my favorites for sure.
Five. If you had to pick a top favorite, bro, what would it be? I'm putting you on the spot.
Dude, you put me on the spot, man. Maybe.
Hey, look.
It's
Give
gotta
me
be-
time to think of my answer.
Yeah, give me time to think, man. Because 90s Sentai is so raw. Like,
Oh, you know what?
It's my favorite era, especially from the mid to late 90s. Oh my god, it's so hard to choose from, man.
Mega Ranger coming soon to Legion Theater.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it with you guys. It's gonna be fun.
Dude, oh, it's so good, Pri. You have to watch it. I know you're gonna enjoy it for sure. That's like another coming of age Sentai for sure.
Yeah, no, the premise sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And I bought the DVD set for Car Ranger from Shout Factory, and it's still sitting on my bookshelf in the plastic wrapping. I still haven't opened it up to watch it yet. I need to do that.
Yeah.
That's the best Sentai.
I will say that
Car
when I
Ranger.
watch
Car Ranger. See, I like Car Ranger a lot, but then I feel like a lot of people are comparing Tokuja to Car Ranger as well, like in terms of like the humor and the wackiness.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, I don't really see it. But
I will say Gokaiger was the second Sentai that I watched after Go Busters because I was an idiot. The Car Ranger episode, I knew nothing about Car Ranger, and that episode had me crying. I was laughing so hard.
I expected it, especially when he smacked the Red Racer. I expected something like funny to happen. I wasn't just expecting that to happen, but I assumed something was gonna happen.
Red Racer is the greatest Sentai Red of all time because they casted him as the Red Ranger because he's ugly.
I like his hair in Car Ranger. I don't like his long hair, to be honest.
They casted him as the Red Ranger so they can call him Monkey Face every episode.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god.
He loves it.
I'm having flashbacks.
He loves it.
Yeah, but Car Ranger really did have its like really like outstanding moments, I have to admit. Despite all like the whole parody, the whole satire and everything, but
Car Ranger was the first Sentai where like the music like really got me. I was like, yo, I gotta find out what these songs are. Cause the music, like the VRV Robo song is so good.
I know. Yo, their henshin BGM, it's like the most heroic thing I've ever heard in Sentai.
Mwah, immaculate.
I'll probably finish Car Ranger one day.
How far did you get into, Tay?
Like episode 2.
Oh, all right. But Tay, what's your favorite Sentai? Since we're skipping, we're gonna go back to me after.
Oh, Kiryuger.
Hey, of course.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah, it's my all time favorite. Like,
Who's your favorite character besides Death Ryuger?
Dr. Uche.
A
Like I was just saying it on Twitter like last night. Like I've watched Brave 21 hundreds of times. Like I don't know why. It's something about that episode and his character that I'm really drawn to. But since he is an extra and he was only around for like a total of 3 episodes, if I had to pick a more relevant character, it'd definitely be Torn.
All right.
Yeah. Birdman.
I think like why people love Dr. Ulshade a lot is because like I guess we've never seen an old man become a ranger.
Exactly, and he's very goofy. Like
yeah.
he's very goofy. Like the whole episode, like when they first showed him, when they first showed him coming in from space,
right.
and then like crashing into the water, they kind of made him like kind of seem a little like a serious character. But then when they actually introduced him, it was like, who the fuck is this goofball? There's no way he's Kiryu Violet.
Yeah.
And then when he transformed and his back blew out, you had Daigo swinging him around because he couldn't move and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Plus Kiryu Violet in general, like you can tell just based on like, because on Toei's actual site, it even apologizes that they took so long to add another female character to the team.
Yeah.
Because Yayoi was never planned to actually become a Kiryuger originally.
Right.
And how they were able to transition and add her in, I also think that was pretty good. I think they didn't really have to do the whole in love with Daigo stuff, but it worked.
Yeah, that was a little excessive. My favorite thing about like Dr. O'Shade is like that. I don't think I've ever seen that in any other Toku show where the guy who voices the toy comes into the show as a character who made the morpher.
And they even acknowledge it.
Yeah, because I love like Tay was talking about the scene. I love that scene where before he closes his gun, he says himself, Gaburincho, Plezuon, and he closes the gun and then it says it, and I'm like, dog.
It's so funny.
They've blown my mind.
It's like satisfying. Something like that is always satisfying.
Yeah.
Dr. O'Shade is bad. His dance is so stupid.
Right, he is hilarious for his dance too. Like that's another thing. You know, I was reading like a bunch of speculation on the Japanese boards about it. You know, they wanted him to apparently they wanted him to like stick around. You know, but I guess due to his schedule, because he works on other shows and stuff, and he's a pretty big name in Japan.
He's a pretty big voice actor.
Anime voice actor,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't able to commit to a full-time schedule, but you know, they made a pretty decent character out of him, I just say the least. And I do wish that I'm glad that we got Yayo as the second female ranger of the team. I wish they would have kept her around more, but still, Kiryu Violet raw.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So who's next? Who's
Ash
5?
Is next. Ash is next. We'll do me last.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk, but we already talked about Tokuja.
Right, yeah, you mentioned
I could talk about Abba Ranger if you want to get something different.
yeah. We'll talk about Abba Ranger if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Abba Ranger is weird because it should have been everything that I dislike in Sentai. It's cartoonish and it's bizarre and it's got like a bunch of really weird CGI effects and the monster designs don't make any fucking sense. And you would think by all rights I would hate it, but I don't. I love Abba Ranger because it's so unashamedly wacky about everything. But then when it's unashamedly wacky until it's not. And it gets legitimately really dark, but because of the characters that are involved with it, it never feels like hopeless or despairing. And that's sort of why I like Tokyuger too. Because I really liked how the characters carried through it when things get like really, really heavy.
Yeah.
About like, to go more in depth, it would spoil a lot of different plot twists with it, but there's a lot of really hard decisions. There's a lot of really pertinent questions about like the nature of humanity and free will that get explored in it, which this is a series where the premise starts out with the dinosaurs didn't actually go extinct. They got catapulted into an alternate dimension where they evolved either into transforming giant robots or people that look exactly like human beings, except they have these weird little horn things on their face. These mechanical robotic dinosaurs are also powered by the literal heroic willpower of humanity.
Dino guts.
It's the weirdest premise ever, but like I said, everything just somehow works with it because it never apologizes for that. And then the wacky stuff makes the serious stuff hit harder when it actually comes.
And I think that's mainly because back then, like even as far as 50 years ago, Sentai was way more imaginative. You know,
Yeah.
like with y'all, like for instance. People have always pondered the idea of like what would have happened if the dinosaurs weren't extinct.
Exactly.
And they were to incorporate that into a show, you know. And same thing with Car Ranger, like their powers come from constellations that don't exist, but nonetheless they created their own constellations, you know. Like I think Sentai could actually be a whole lot from actually doing stuff like that today, but they don't. They try to be more. They try to go with a more realistic approach, and it kind of, I don't know, in a sense, it kind of kills it, in my opinion.
Plus, they've been trying to play it safe in recent years. Before, like Q Ranger, especially, they try to like almost go back to basics.
And even then, they've been like with Q Ranger and now with Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, they've experimented a lot in the premise in terms of how the team is set up, like how the team comes together and what their structure is. They're experimenting a lot with that, but the individual episode plots still hit some pretty familiar territory.
Yeah, you can only do so much after like, you know, a certain amount of years. After that, you're bound to repeat some things, but I don't even know how to say this. But yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it's bound to repeat, which sucks. But like, there's some things they could still improve on that they haven't really like gone into like deeper territory with, especially with like the themes, because there's been a lot of repeated themes lately.
It's like right after. I want to say it's funny because it's what we base Power Rangers on, but I feel like right after Zhu Ranger, everything after Zhu Ranger has been like reused. Maybe.
Yep.
I would say
like most of the things.
Either that or like me even further up towards like Abba Ranger maybe. It's like thematic wise at least, like team aesthetics and whatnot.
Dinosaurs, cops, cars, ninjas.
Yeah. And I'm glad like for Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger they steered away from Animal Mecha because I'm not gonna lie, I'm sick and tired of Animal Mecha. We've been having it for like years and years. Took a break with Tokyuger. And I think somewhere else down the line, but still.
That's the funny part. Like, I'm like legit. I love Animal Mecha. I just think they're better designed than Vehicle Mecha. But I hope that Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger is legitimately even down to the movie. There are no animal mechs. Like I know we got the little dog exclusive, but it's not in series. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Series. So like, because even Tokyuger, they ended up
Safari.
They even did the movie. So like, I kind of hope that it is that way too.
Yeah, I mean, I like how Q Ranger did it because like it's like a hybrid kind of like their animals and spaceships exactly. So I like how they did it, but then after that, I was like, I really hope the next series doesn't have any more animals because enough is enough. And it's always the same repeated animals too. Like for the most part, it's always gonna have a lion in it. Always gonna have an eagle or a falcon, some sort of. Something along those lines.
Like during Zyuohger when Yamato was flying around with his bird wings out, I was like, yo, they should just make another Jetman
Yeah, they should. They still use like the same like practical effect for the wings,
Yeah, I'm
which
like,
is impressive.
or
I like that.
yeah, like there's so many new themes they could do, but I feel like they're just scared. Like
Exactly. That's why like they're trying to play it safe, but like I like that they did it something different this year.
it's like they got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like sometimes
Yeah.
they'll be like, okay, we're gonna do trains this year, but next year back to ninjas, cuh.
Yeah, ninjas 3 times,
See,
man.
that's the funny part because they're playing it safe, but also doing something out of the blue.
Yep.
Like for instance, with Tokyo, like you said, like the show unorthodox, but it's a really safe color scheme, and even with like with ninjas, it's supposed to be a safe thing, but they're like second lowest. They have the second lowest sales or something like that in Sentai history. No, I think actually the lowest.
Yeah.
I think they're even lower than Time Rangers. So just because their mecha are trash, but
Yeah.
we can complain about Ninja for hours. Ash still got to say with his favorite.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the Ninja is an example of where them being like trying to be experimental with the mecha kind of like massively fired.
Yeah.
They tried to combine like various different themes: vehicular mecha, animal mecha, humanoid.
Mhm.
It was just a cluster.
It didn't even look attractive.
No, it didn't.
Not at all. I appreciate like they tried to do a second mode to it with the dragon, but
Yeah.
not that good.
Shout outs to the ninja for dropping a ball all the time.
Yeah, which of course is why you guys are streaming it right now.
Dude, I'm sick to watch that show.
I'm not streaming it.
That's
John.
That's young boy John.
It's me too, boy. I got it open right now. I'm looking right at it.
Oh god.
Funny though.
Pay attention to us, not Ninja.
Meanwhile, I'm over here running my own stream while you guys are talking about something that I haven't seen yet.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think that Zyuohger gets a lot of hate because it's after Ninja.
I actually really, I don't want to say really enjoyed Zyuohger, however the hell you want to pronounce that.
Zyuohger.
I watched that as it aired because I got into Toku shortly, like right when Ninja was ending.
That's good.
Oh, you're very recent.
Yeah, 2015 was when I started watching it seriously.
Wow, you're young.
And
Yeah.
And so that was the first one. That was the first Sentai I watched as it aired from beginning to end. And I didn't like the designs. I didn't like the premise. I thought it was kiddie crap, to be perfectly honest, at the start of it. And then as it continued to go in, it really does not deserve the bad rap that it got. Like the main plot is really shallow and predictable, but the characters are all really nice. And it's really interesting to see how they grow as the show goes on. Like Yamato is honestly a really, really good red.
Yeah. Thank you.
He honestly is probably one of my favorites.
The best.
Yeah,
he is a good one.
Because with the Sentai that I've seen, this was a problem with Go Busters. You have to wonder why the Red Ranger, why the Red Sentai member is considered the leader, because they either get outshined or they're not as competent, or it's like why are you putting all the focus on this one kid as the person to represent the entire team? With Yamato, there is no doubt why he is the leader.
Mm-hmm.
It works really, really well.
I was just gonna say, here's a guide to watching Zyuohger. So basically, watch the first, then watch the Gokaiger team up, and then just skip right to the end.
No, because part of the reason why I like the season is because you get to see all the other characters develop over time, and watching the team develop around with each other and interact with each other is really why it's nice. I mean, it's something that would through on your own because there is so much filler, but by the end of it, it's worth it. So like I recommend doing it as a group watch. That'd be a fun one to stream in the Legion.
I think
that would be cool.
With Zyuohger is more so like people see with Sentai, people have always wanted these very in-depth like characters with these strenuous backstories.
Yeah.
Like no one likes consistency with Sentai. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to get behind consistency with Sentai because it is always changing. We get a different installment every year. But with Zyuohger, they kept their characters consistent. they didn't like change much about them throughout the show. Like that's one thing I've never liked about Sentai or Power Rangers for that matter. Like you'll give these guys these crazy backstories and or these crazy arcs that'll be like some coming of age thing for these characters, and then they just don't do anything with it no more. And the character just goes back to how he originally was. And as to me, that's kind of a waste. It's kind of boring. But like with Zyuohger, they kept the characters the same, which made them interesting because like you saw them act in their role to their fullest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my opinion though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes like I feel like this was something with Deca Ranger. Really, the strongest arc of development you have is Ban learning to be like less of an obnoxious like loudmouth all the time, constantly, and the rest of the team growing to accept him as one of the members of their crew. But for a lot of the other characters, it's sort of like this is how they are, and then when they get focused episodes, it's more like showing why they are that way, understanding more why they act this way or why they have these specific quirks or why they have these specific issues. It seems like a lot of focus episodes for Sentai in general deal more with coming to understand the characters rather than them developing a different character.
Jasmine is an Esper. Her powers work by touching.
This is sense thinking pose.
This is.
Oh man! Even when I watched it as a kid, Deca Ranger. Oh my! I was like, why do they keep repeating it every single time? It's not really necessary.
Nothing is better than the finale episode where they all do their character gimmick, and the narrator is still explaining it like we've never seen it before. When the Deca Rangers transform, the Deca base sends down the Deca medals.
Yeah.
Face on. I'm like, dog, we know what's happening.
In Space Squad. I mean, I like how they did it in Space Squad as like a little reminder, but at that point, I'm just like, come on, man. So Ash, did he say his favorite Sentai or no?
No, I didn't.
All right, speak up, my friend, my brother.
So I have Live Man.
Yes.
And then the other one is Go Kaija.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about Gokai.
Fuck Go Kaija. Y'all should already know this.
Back to the basics.
Yeah.
But yeah. Go Kaija is one of the first watch in full. I mean, I know that weak and the villains are terrible, but I feel like the main characters, kind of to pull it over the finish line. So yeah, Go Kaija.
Yeah.
Talk about Live Man because I haven't seen anything about Live Man.
Live Man is that's a depressing series, but like at the same time, it's kind of like
it's the only 80 Sentai I've watched.
Yeah, it's like depressing, but like optimistic at the same time because they all have like this sense of hope.
Yeah,
the team.
That's what I like.
Yeah, because like they go through a lot of stuff within like the first 2 episodes. It's pretty sad.
Yo, I'm a spoiled Live Man right now.
Me too. I can't wait. It's a 30-year-old show, so I don't really care if you haven't seen it or not.
There's a 2-parter in Live Man where Green Sai gets pregnant.
Yep.
And he has the villain's baby.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, he did. He really did. And that was like the weirdest. Like those are the only episodes I didn't like from the show.
And those are his only 2 focused episodes.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of got their focus when they first appeared because they were the dead friends' siblings.
Yeah,
that's really it. That's who they were, I guess.
I don't know how I felt about that, Five. Like, because it felt to me like they was pitying them. Like, oh, we'll let their brothers join the team.
Yeah, because they didn't want their brothers fighting at all. They're like, no, we don't want you guys. Like, it's such a burden and everything.
And what I didn't like about it is they kind of tried to have them show up like they were a mystery.
Yeah.
Those powers.
But then one of them had like another little brother that we saw early in the show who was working on I forget who.
I think it was Tetsu.
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah, because like he helped Yusuke make the Jeep or whatever. Was it the Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something
I remember that.
All I know, all I remember about the characters is that Megumi was Big Fine.
She was.
And
she probably still is right now too.
She was definitely big.
Yeah.
I wish they would have a female blue, like be a regular shade of blue.
Yeah, like her.
Yeah, they've always got to be light blue. I've noticed that too.
They have been light blue lately.
I mean, to be fair, Megumi is dark blue, like a guy is, but in Kaku Rangers, Saizo is light blue.
Yeah, that's the only.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Besides Pokemon Sky Blue.
Yeah, and Koguma Sky Blue.
They switched it up them few times, but like I don't know, like just be consistent. Shit.
Yeah. Ash, what do you want to say about Live Man?
It's basically my favorite preview. I think what initially drew me to it was the mecha. Just seeing the mecha designs at first.
Oh,
It was the first Sentai that used mecha. Oh yeah, and I hate you Sentai. The fact that you've got the mini pla, the super mini pla.
I know.
I'm gonna break into your house and steal all your shit, bro.
I'm like building it. I'm like building it as we're recording right now. So I'm like trying to like make not as much noise as possible.
Yo, I just started hyperventilating because I remember that you said the Kaku Ranger one is coming out.
Yeah, it is.
Muteki Shogun.
Muteki Shogun. Yeah,
That's gonna be probably like the mini plot at its pinnacle. I'm serious. That's gonna be so good.
The holy grail of Minipla.
Dude, Muteki Shogun is my favorite Sentai mecha ever.
I'm not even gonna build it. I'm not even gonna build it. I'm gonna put it on the shelf and just leave it there.
I don't mean to get off topic, but like I'm on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Samurai Rangers morph with Lauren. She doesn't get the credit that she deserves.
I mean, she was barely in the show.
I mean, she was kind of raw.
Yeah, like, she had a good demeanor. I liked it.
Exactly. Like she had a character presence. I can't speak for the rest of the team, but she did.
Yo.
But anyway,
so let's flip the coin.
We got to get to my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. So Live Man, I'm gonna go by era, I guess, like pre-Ju and post-Ju Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like what Ash said, Live Man is my favorite pre-Ju Ranger Sentai for sure. Beating out Jetman, because I love Jetman a lot, but Live Man holds like a special place in my heart after like watching it like 3 times. But it's the characters, their struggles, and the story too, because they redeem most of the villains. And which I didn't think some of them were even redeemable in the first place, and then all hell breaks loose in the finale. It's nuts, and the ending. I'm about to spoil the ending right now. The very last scene when Gray's kid, not Gray. The hell's the robot's name? Forgot.
I forgot too.
Yeah, the robot's his cannon like has like a projection of like the entire Live Man series. And it's just like destruction and everything. And they say, "Oh, there's not a single beautiful thing like that was recorded." I was like, "Damn, it really was. It really was a depressing show."
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, "Yo, why they do this?"
Yeah, like what? That's how they ended the series. And then it's like a whole montage of like the Rangers after that. But Live Man is pretty much depressing, yet it's still hopeful at the same time because the team did not give up on the villains, who were their former friends / classmates. More classmates than friends.
Yeah.
Except for Yusuke and the Mazenda, I think, was her name.
Yeah.
Because he liked her.
Keep it a stack 5. I don't remember that much about Live Man besides that pregnant episode.
I remember a lot more, man.
So I've been extremely quiet so far.
Yeah. But after post-Ju Ranger, I think my favorite Sentai has to be either a tie between Time Ranger and Deca Ranger.
How did I say Time Ranger?
I think I have to gravitate more towards Time Ranger because, oh my god, man. I watched
Time
that
Ranger
show like twice. Dude, it still holds up, man. It's crazy.
I watched Time Ranger in 2 days.
That's a lot.
Tatsuya Asami is probably my favorite Red Ranger.
Is the GOAT. He's the greatest there ever was.
Yeah,
Ranger's getting a Shout Factory release as well. Isn't
I
it?
know. Just in time.
my
I had
God.
to mention that too.
And the Time Ranger Super Sentai MOOCs are coming out.
Hey,
Oh yeah, in June.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
boy.
That's awesome. But yeah,
The
Time
month-
Ranger, I
that's the
highly
month
recommend.
that John-
What was that?
That's the month John said he's gonna die.
He did say that. He said, I'm going to be astral projecting onto the TM.
But yeah, Time Ranger, man. Oh, the story, honestly, the characters are really, really well developed, and like the cast has like
good.
such a great dynamic. Same with Deca Ranger too. They have such a great dynamic, but Time Ranger, I have to hold a little bit more above in regard to that.
Time Ranger has the first Sentai member with cancer.
Yeah, Osiris
That's-
syndrome.
Oh, that's what it was called.
Yeah,
Same.
Same thing.
yeah. Even Time Ranger had its own like depressing moments throughout the show, but
The ending. Oh my god.
it taught that you
ending-
could still like make your own choices and nothing's predetermined,
Oh my god.
despite what some people say and despite how some things went down in the show.
Mm.
But yeah, it's crazy.
I don't want to spoil Time Ranger because it just got subbed, so I don't want to spoil too much of it. Not the obvious spoiler that everybody knows.
Yeah, Time Fire.
Yeah, not that one, but like,
He's garbage anyway.
yeah, he was garbage. The best part, he was big trash. Tay was there. Me and John were like, "Yo, this guy is horrible. This is the worst 6 of all time."
Is he really that bad?
Then we watched Maji Ranger and we're like, you know what? Maji Shine is way.
He's just such a jerk. Time Fire that like
Yeah,
you love to hate him
yeah. Like Ash, he doesn't try to get along with the team,
until
And
the
then he
very
died.
end
and then he dies.
when it's
like,
too, when
yo,
it's
come
too
on.
late.
It's
He
like,
starts
come on.
opening up more a little bit, and then it's too late. He gets shot twice.
That's when he starts opening up. Once he gets 2 bullets in his chest, he's like, "Yo." He's like, "Yo, I don't really hate you guys, by the way. Like, y'all are all right." I'm like, "Nigga, it's too late now. You bleeding out."
Yeah,
Trying to make it to heaven real quick.
yeah,
Yeah, he trying to repent.
I know. No, but
I'm sorry.
he did have a nice was it New Year's or Christmas present to the Rangers?
Ooh,
that was
yeah,
nice.
he did.
I'm not gonna spoil that, but what he did, that was in good heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess Time Ranger is my favorite as of right now.
How does it compare to Time Force?
It's the
Time
same
Ranger's
thing.
Better.
It's the same thing, pretty much, more or less.
I
It's
mean-
mostly the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No. Pretty like equal.
I mean, Time
Time-
Force has some changes, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's more or less the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Like Time Force has Rancic and Time Ranger doesn't, so that's a big plus for Time Force. But I think Time Ranger like develops their characters just a little better, not like much, but
Yeah.
a little better. You know what
I'd
I'm
say
saying?
so. Yeah.
But Rancic is so much better. Like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, Rancic was a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, even because I've seen Time Force, so I haven't seen Time Ranger itself, but I've seen Time Force. Even if it's handled with all the subtlety of a brick to the head, the fact that they actually tried to go that angle with the villain and actually have an overarching plot
Yeah.
that dealt with those themes is something that I wish Power Rangers would do more often, and I really appreciate them doing it there.
Power Rangers is booty.
Booty Jew.
I'm gonna just put it out there.
But yeah, so should we all talk about Go Kaiju now?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm serious. That's like an honorable mention because let me get to it, all right?
Go ahead.
Because when I was watching Go Kaiju, I watched it as it aired, obviously, and then I'd seen pretty much all the tribute episodes. I'd already seen the Sentai before, like these tribute episodes came out, so it was like the extra icing on the cake.
On the cake.
It really was because, like,
I like cake.
I mean, it was, I don't know, it was just satisfying because they tied up some loose ends. They pretty much developed a character that was already developed even more.
Yeah.
Just checking up,
Yeah.
seeing like how he's been doing after all these years. And even
Yeah.
for the characters I didn't like coming back, like Magi Red, oh god, I hated him in Magi Ranger. But you know what? I was excited for him to come back. I really didn't mind he was the first like real tribute episode either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
The-
this whole Illuminati just like keeping tabs
Dog, and then there's like one of the things I did like about Gokaiger is like you said, like if you watch the episode,
Yeah.
like well, I mean watch the Sentai, and then that Sentai got an episode, it was heat. It was double heat. Like the best part about Gokaiger is the like if you've seen the Sentai that they're referencing or they're interacting with.
Exactly. And another mention.
I really regret watching Gokaiger for only my second Sentai because the only Sentai I'd seen before it was Go Buster. So I'd seen literally none of the Sentai that they were referencing in there.
Yeah.
And I still think it stands on its own because
it does.
It does, definitely.
What Gokaiger does is the same reason why Ultraman Mebius works as an anniversary show is because they have a very good core cast of characters that then interacts with the setting. So even if you're not familiar with the other teams or the history of Sentai, you care about what's going on and care about them living up to these expectations and getting these powers and being able to defeat the bad guys because you care about the characters of the Gokaigers themselves. And I really love the Gokai cast. They're a lot of fun. They develop in interesting ways. They get some really good focus episodes. I mean, they even did a body swap episode in that season that I didn't hate. So there you go. So I really like Gokaiger because even though I wasn't familiar with Sentai at all before that point, I'm still not that familiar with it, as you guys can tell. I really enjoyed watching the other characters interact with that history, which is what made the show for me.
Yeah, it was pretty rich.
Rishi.
Wait, what? Rishi's here?
Rishi's just spoke, yep.
What the fuck?
What's up, Time Crimson?
Nothing much.
Hey.
Wait a minute, pause.
speak.
This is a legendary podcast.
This is the best episode of the Legion of Boom podcast.
For the first time in what is this, episode 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, I don't know.
So in case y'all didn't know, Time Crimson on Twitter, also known as Rishi, is part of the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, he's official.
He's been official.
He's so busy doing homework and
not being allowed to speak to us.
You know, he's never able to actually join in the podcast. So this is his first time in the podcast. So yeah,
we have a Rishi focus episode.
Yeah.
Rishi, this is your episode, bro. What's your favorite Sentai?
Yeah, speak to us.
That is tough. I'm a big fan of the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
Anything from like Gal Ranger. So anything from Car Ranger to Gal Ranger is fair game.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
said Car Rangers.
I'd say it's between Car Ranger.
Car Ranger and what?
Mega Ranger.
Oh yeah, you always mention them, man. Those are really good shows.
It's what I really like about them is just that it's kind of like you can say this for like any type of favorite, but it's like if you can sit down and watch any episode of any time, you're always ready. You're always it can bring us. I think that's when you know you have a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Comfort food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your homemade, like it's a good feeling when
It's like ice cream.
Oh yeah, it's comfort food.
Yeah.
I like ice cream.
But yeah, I like a lot of Sentai. Even like the shows that I'm not so fond of, like I think there's always something.
Hey man,
I agree.
Did we talk about what our least favorite Sentai was?
I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it happy.
Let's keep it positive. We don't need to talk about negatives.
I don't really have a Sentai series that I disliked. I mean, there's ones that I thought were okay, but there's not one that I have regretted sitting through yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just hoping we could all just have a Ninja Circle Jerk, but okay.
I'm not
even gonna crap on that because I literally watched a single episode of Ninja subbed. I've only ever seen the raw version of it on the streams.
Where you getting John's Rabbit right now?
Yeah.
Episode 1.
I hope Rishi can stay the rest of the episode. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
But
Rishi, introduce yourself, cuz. You already did it, but let's get you saying it.
yeah. I don't think he's allowed to speak anymore.
Oh, he's out of the
Damn.
game.
God
No,
damn it.
there he
He
is.
went mute.
Is he banished to the Shadow Realm?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need 3 sacrifices to and a monster
Seven
reborn
Exodia or something.
and a monster
I-
reborn.
I volunteer Ro.
Yeah.
as a sacrifice.
Didn't he get washed last night by Cat?
Yeah, he did. He got washed by Cat, man.
Got his ass kicked, man.
y'all saw the video?
Yeah, I saw it this
Yeah.
morning when he told me.
Oh my god! And how he blow a lead? Like he was winning, and she just whooped that nigga for 3 rounds straight, dog. I was like, yo, this is ridiculous. And then I went on PlayStation. Like after we all got off of court, I got on PSN.
All right.
Mhm.
All right.
And it said-
Ninja
It said,
is the GOAT. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I had to say that.
It
I
said-
had to say that. No, I just had to say that. I had to say that.
introduce yourself. Say yo. This is Time Crimson.
All right. Hello, namaste, Sat Sri Akal. My name is Time Crimson.
I'm so happy.
Me too.
He's more he's more
We started
Indian
off
than
with,
I
like,
am.
we started off with only like 4 people in this chat, and now we've got a full house again.
Yeah,
Not,
it's nice.
now where's Clay?
He
Oh, he
left.
just left a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
He went.
God damn it! I need to hear this man in the live.
Oh yeah, it's something.
Like
Yeah.
it's
He's
like-
actually
it's like
he's actually more tame when he speaks
Right.
in real life than on when he tweets.
He's a lot more mellow.
Yeah.
Let's see. What were you guys talking about before I came in? I'm sorry if I disrupted.
Sentai, literally this entire episode has been about Sentai.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, literally.
Which is why it's going to be the best episode.
the best
Yeah.
franchise. The best franchise.
Exactly. There you go.
We did make.
Really? Am I the only one here who doesn't have Sentai listed as their favorite Toku franchise?
No. It's fine.
No.
Now,
I prefer
Ultra
Thunder.
is Ultra Rider. All these franchises are good. There's
Yeah.
you can't like it just comes down to personal preference. There's no bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What do you
definitely.
gravitate more towards?
Yeah. And it's a
Yeah.
combination of what you started with and what you want to see in a story
Like,
and
from
what you enjoy
from
about
what
Toku.
From what I've noticed, like I've met like kaiju fans, so Godzilla, Gamera.
Mm-hmm.
What I've noticed is that they often like there's a few of them that kind of lump Ultraman to that, so that's what I've noticed. So like I
Right.
see there's a lot of and like Ultraman has a little bit more than Sentai Rider in the US because of the TBS Ultra 7 dub.
And there's just the
And,
fact that Super Raya is much less tight-fisted about distribution rights in general. Really,
Yeah.
the biggest thing holding them back right now is the legal battle that's going on with Chaya, the company that has the rights to the Showa era series. But like Toei, apart from the series that get licensed for Power Rangers, Toei is really, really like tight about
Oh yeah.
its rights for distribution and localization. So, which is a shame.
Could you imagine if
It's
Toei simulcasted Sentai and Rider?
Oh man, can you
Oh.
imagine how much bank they would make?
Oh,
No,
they would
they
make
don't-
so
they don't-
much.
They don't like money.
Which is weird because it's really weird because even though, like, I can understand people knowing Sentai, but I'm always really surprised at how popular Kamen Rider is here in the United States, considering it's got like maybe 3 official releases, the V3 set, and like I think the first and the next movies.
I thought you were gonna say
it's
Masked Rider
funny-
and Dragon Knight.
Me
God.
too.
funny story. When Blockbuster was still around, I remember they had the first for rent, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" And I watched it, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" Like, it's but like, yeah, Sentai and Rider could possibly do more than just the shout releases, but Ultra definitely has the franchise.
Yeah.
From what I've
Yeah,
also
and
heard-
hopefully, like,
Well, from
and
what
if
I-
this copyright battle gets ironed out, then we may see more in the future too. Who knows?
Yeah, and
True.
also from what I've noticed about Ultraman, that Ultraman also is a little bit. It's like also a little bit more worldly. Like if you go to Indonesia and Malaysia, like I have relatives in Malaysia. They
Mhm.
actually used to watch Ultraman kids. So like Tiga Dyna Gaia Cosmo. actually, funny story. My mom used to watch Changerian.
I remember you told me that,
Oh,
man. I remember you
awesome.
told me that.
Yeah, it was really weird because I'm like I was watching it and it was like, wait a second, I know that suit, but yeah, that was but it was like there was I don't know if she told me if it was in Malay or English because a lot of because in Singapore, Malaysia, do you know like I know Kabuto was dubbed in English. I know a
Yeah.
bunch of
Wizard
so
was too in Decade.
oh I didn't know that. I just know the
I
Yeah,
think
no,
in,
I
I,
think
I don't know if it's in Malaysia or just
I
in
forget what they
Philippines.
went up to, but I know I'm pretty sure it's Malaysia, but
Oh,
no,
yeah.
Singapore did some too, I think.
Yeah, I
Singapore
forget
and Malaysia,
exactly.
you can get like Malay channels through Singapore, so
Okay.
there is. But yeah, like Ultraman just generally spreads itself other. And another weird thing is note that Kamen Rider Ryuki was dubbed in Arabic, and was showed in the
What?
series.
Where?
Yeah,
Damn.
I think it was United Arab Emirates, Qatar.
Oh, okay, that
Um,
area.
Yeah, so
Good.
actually the opening is on YouTube if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, you can link it in the
It's like-
Discord.
Yeah, no,
It's-
drop
it
that in
sounds-
drop that in the Legion channel. That'd be interesting.
I've just read a lot about it, but like another interesting is that I've been to find a lot of, but they don't air the shows there, which but like I remember I used to go there and I found like the huge Vokinger fan, but I always forget that big weapon they had with the whole Japanese package stuff. But they don't air the show. They just dub Power.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like yeah, I always found it weird. Like I know Korea dubs Sentai. I know
And Power Rangers too. But
Yeah, I know China has dubbed some Sentai. You can see Abba Ranger and Cantonese. I found Mega Ranger on YouTube. Yeah, I just like to see how, and then obviously, it's space. I
Boy,
don't know.
Rishi got all the facts.
No, but actually, there was something funny. Was that like Turbo Ranger was dubbed in like some language in Spain that barely anybody speaks. Just like, what is this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many people. Yeah, but I kind of look into this stuff to see.
It was dubbed by people who can only speak 12 people can only speak one language.
a village language.
Right.
We're glad you came on, Rishi.
Yeah.
Oh, Rishi dropped that link. Yes.
Hey, I see it.
It's a little different sound. That's all I can tell you.
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight.
Stop
Together
it.
we
Stop it. I'll vent you, bro.
Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight made me big mad, man.
It
Of
made you
course.
big mad. Well, I was- what?
Kamen Rider, initiate.
Boy, I was big headbanging to that theme song.
The Wii game was pretty sloppy though. I still have
Yeah.
that.
Fun fact, kids: Johnny Young Bosch voiced Kamen Rider Dragon Knight in the video game.
I didn't even know that, to be honest.
I did not know that at all.
Is that actually true? Like,
Yes, it is.
I thought they just used sound bites from the TV show.
There's
yeah,
actually nope. It's Johnny Young Bosch. He even talked about it at a con,
Oh yeah.
and he was like, "What?" He was like, "What's a Kamen Rider?" I just took a job. He has no idea what Kamen Rider is,
He's probably like, "Oh, can my character die, please?"
even though he was in an episode with a Kamen Rider in Power Rangers.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
Now,
man.
the funniest thing I don't know who posted on Twitter, but like, was it? I don't know if this is a prank or something because I've never seen Mass Rider and who would, but like it was something like they used like ZO footage or something. Or
Yeah, they
footage.
did. They did.
Yeah, they
the
did.
the first two episodes they used the ZO footage.
How can you do that? Like,
It was spliced like Zhu too, bro. It's just like he's not making actual physical contact,
Yeah.
but he's getting murked by the monster
oh my.
somehow. Mass
Hey, so
Rider
what
was
do y'all-
a weird show.
I seen a little bit of it, but like
I've only ever seen clips from it.
I watched
Shout
it.
out.
I watched it as a toddler. It was. Oof.
Shout out to Phoebus.
The funniest part was Dex like biting the freaking juice box sideways.
God.
I was like, "What's this guy doing?"
They made the same joke in Space.
Oh yeah. With
Oh
Andrew.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Forgot. Huh.
With Andros. Yeah.
Whatever. Beetleborgs is better than Mask Rider.
Beetleborgs is way better than
Hell
Mask
yeah.
Rider.
Way, way.
No, like to be fair, like I didn't even like VR Troopers that much.
Beetleborgs better than that.
Yeah, Beetleborgs is
Yeah.
better than that.
I remember.
You know, they both lasted the same
Beetleborgs-
time.
I remember when Beetleborgs first came on, like everybody made fun of it, like, "Oh, it's trying so hard to be a Power Rangers ripoff. It's so lame." And then I did that, but secretly I bought the merchandise because I thought the suits looked really fucking awesome.
The suits are
See-
awesome.
See, now you could have made fun of them because they're like, oh, Beetleborgs is a Power Rangers ripoff. Meanwhile, Beetleborgs is killing Power Rangers in toy sales at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
heard about that.
That's
I
why.
remember-
That's
But
why
I'm pretty
Justin
sure
comes
that's
in.
why I'm pretty sure that's why it was killing it, because the designs just plain were cool. I mean, they're metal heroes. They're
Yeah.
just plain
Yeah.
cooler than the Power Rangers.
I remember when I was a kid, when Beetleborgs Metallics was on. I used to
Yeah.
go to the toy aisle, and I would always see Turbo toys like clogging up the shelf, but Beetleborgs toys were like almost non-existent.
Yeah.
They're always flying
Poor-
off the shelf.
Poor Turbo.
Yeah.
Now, the Beetleborg.
Speaking of which,
the B-Fighter Kabuto suits are.
They're
they look so
fantastic.
good.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
I gotta,
they're-
I gotta
they're
watch
nice and
Street Fighter 1.
shiny. I
gotta
need to watch
Street
more
Fighter
Metal
1.
Heroes in general.
Metal Heroes is a
And,
good genre, especially the rescue ones in the
I've
90s.
seen
Winspector is dope.
Yeah.
Jaspion and Spielbahn, and both are very.
Like
Very
everybody,
good.
a lot of people gravitate
Just-
towards the Space Sheriffs, but there's better shows than the Space Sheriffs.
Jaspion is kind of like how Q Ranger kind of planet hopped. Jaspion was like they planet hop like initially, and like Jaspion is just a cool space.
Yeah. I love like the whole like rescue trilogy too. That's probably like my favorite ones.
The music is
From what I've seen of the Rescue trilogy, I'd probably say that XE Draft is definitely the weakest one. From what I've seen of it so far, I'd probably say Soul Brain's probably the best. Winspector's a great show though.
Yeah, I love that trilogy so much. It's like I thought I was gonna like B-Fire and B-Fire to Kabuto more like
Yeah.
as my favorites, but I like the Rescue trilogy above them. And then comes the B-Fighter series.
Have you seen Jiban?
I've seen
I've
a
seen-
few
I've seen an
episodes.
episode.
I've seen a few episodes. I've seen some Jiraiya also.
Okay, would you recommend Jiban, or because I've been thinking about watching it?
I mean, I'd like to check it out no matter what, especially like if it's older stuff, like I've never even seen before. But I'd say give it a shot.
Too bad Metal Heroes Big Dead.
I know.
I've
I
heard
know, man.
speculation a couple times that one of the reasons why they don't really bring it back Space Sheriff stuff is just that the style and aesthetics of it has been cannibalized so thoroughly by
Kamen
Rider
Rider.
and to a degree
Yep.
Sentai now too.
It has.
That is just there's just not a niche for it anymore.
It's just there for world building now. That's really
Yeah.
it. And I don't
Yeah.
even mind it for that either, because like Space Squad, they're kind of giving them almost like the focus a little bit. But
Yeah.
that's better
And I
than
mean,
nothing.
like I'm always for more Toku shows rather than fewer. So
Right.
even if it does sort of do something similar to what Kamen Rider has done before or something, if it's a good show in its own right, then I don't mind them wanting to produce it. But I think they're just worried about toy sales and how to differentiate it on that respect.
Yeah, it's hard, especially when you have like two top like flagship shows already.
But you know what? Since you said that you actually brought up a point that a good point that Herb made on Twitter yesterday. That with the toy sales, like we don't need a sixth Ranger in every season.
Oh yeah, that's big.
But-
That's big fat.
Yeah, we don't need a sixth Ranger in every season. We don't need more than 5 or 6 Rangers every season. But
Right.
They're
It's total toys.
yeah, they're definitely only doing it so much because, and if you notice, like Sentai is getting so much more lazier with their storytelling. Like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of it. That's why I like seasons. Maybe I started watching Sentai at the wrong time, but like, that's one of the things that I like about Sentai when it has more Rangers, because when you have more Rangers, it's more stories to tell.
And different
But
like dynamics
yeah,
between other
yeah,
I feel
characters.
like
it's more stories to tell when you have more Rangers nowadays. When you have less Rangers, they don't tell much of the story. They
Right.
try to it ends up mainly filler.
Mhm.
Like I said, I've watched Die Ranger, and I've watched Live Man, and I see, and I've watched Avalanche, and I can see the obvious difference in a quality Sentai without a lot of characters, opposed to a Sentai with a lot of characters.
Well, yeah, and then the flip side of that, one of the things I don't like about Go Busters, I really like the plot and I like how they handle, like, each episode has a reason for why things happen. They do a
Yeah.
very good job of explaining itself in the mechanics, and especially with the mech fights. Like, the mech fights aren't just, well, we defeated the boss one time, now it grows giant and we have to punch it in the face again. It never feels like that. There's always a reason for why they bust out the giant robots. And similarly with the villains, there's always a reason why they bust out the giant robots. But the weakest part of Go Busters is the characters. Because they've got maybe one or two interesting plot lines of development going on. You've got the main one with their family's disappearance and them trying to get that back. And then you've got between the blue and the yellow, whose names I'm blanking on right now.
Ryuji and Yoko.
Yep.
Yeah. And their relationship is genuinely really interesting in how they relate to each other, because they've been like comrades and partners for so long. And there's such an age difference between Ryuji and the rest of the team.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But my God, they picked the most boring character to be the Red. And that really kills the show.
The one thing that like Go Busters has a lot of cool ideas. I don't mind it, but like the problems that I really couldn't get character. I think a lot of the Sentai character also. I think that most characters at this point. The thing with Go Busters, as Preach said, was that I just felt like Hiromu's actor really did presence to be like a goofy Red or a serious Red. He was just kind of in this like awkward phase, which really like weakened his character. Like, remember that episode when his dreams were getting manipulated and he saw his family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I love the concept behind it. It's just that his acting in that scene, like, really kind of pulled the impact away. Like, I know people are like kind of fine with that, and I think it's more personal preference. It's just that, like, with a show like Aba Ranger, I've been seeing too many. Like, let's say Aba Ranger, like 3 core Rangers were acted so well.
Oh yeah, totally.
They added another mystique to like the writing. Like, they really made it alive. I think with Go Busters, it's kind of like the the ideas were cool, but like the actors were not that successful in those ideas come on the screen as the scripts.
Yeah, no, and if I'm being completely honest, Ryoga from Aba Rangers is my single favorite Red of all time.
Boo.
Yeah, he's great.
Now, the thing with Ryoga that we like him so much.
He wore Tim's.
Yeah. Sentai TJ.
Yeah. Nope. Whoa. I don't know about that, cuh.
Well, just for that.
Like, I brought up this point before, is that like Ryoga kind of reminds me of Goku in some ways.
Who?
Goku.
Oh, Goku. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that.
Like, it's just like I don't think Ryoga is as like like definitely isn't the father that he is. But like I just like there's a lot of like I think Ryoga is like how Koichiro Nishi is that he plays him so well that like all his good intention is like you actually feel good intention. And I think
because that's a major part of his character is that it's sort of his force of will that gets everybody else on board, that motivates them, that, I mean, takes a Bare killer and actually makes him cooperate with the heroes. It's what saves the day, the fact that he keeps moving forward like that, and the actor really does a good job of making it feel genuine.
Like, it's a character that definitely you can look up to. Really, like when I was a freshman in high school, I saw Abba so many years, and it just that like, Ryoga was a character that stayed the same but had a different act. He's one of those characters that you just really want to succeed, really feel good watching. The messages that Arakawa and the writers involved in the process were able to put their positive messages of Abba through Dinoguts' idea, but Ryoga was really the one who pushed at Dinoguts' idea that could have easily fell flat, like the Yuki in Majirenja. But yeah, it's yeah, he was amazing. Like when Kyoto vs. Gobus came out and stuff, like I really don't like that movie. I just falls very flat. But like I think him and Geki were like two of the reasons why watchable. It's so great to see them together. Like
I
you
hear
don't
you.
normally see that.
Yeah. All right. Any last words, guys?
Yeah, I got one last thing to say. This has been a really fun episode celebrating Super Sentai.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? 43 years going strong.
Hell
Kamen
yeah.
Rider, we ain't talk about it because it's big trash. And
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider it's not really its 47th birthday because it was gone for 10 years. It's only 37. Calm it down. And we talked about Ultraman and we talked about Metal Heroes. We ain't talk about Goro because it's not Toku.
I will
And
come
on-
over here
and
I will
on-
fight you.
And on that note,
fight
losing
you.
out.
Did you actually hang up? Because I will fight you on that.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to say something?
Yeah.
As we wrap this up.
Since we're celebrating Sentai, remember Ninja is not bad.
It's not. It's the GOAT. Legion Theater,
Oh my
kids.
God.
No. It's like I'm not saying it's the GOAT, but it's just kind of like its own thing.
Why y'all lying?
Yeah, stop lying.
Knock it off.
It's not good for your blood pressure.
You guys are crazy.
Tay, what you say?
Fuck,
What did you say?
Fuck Pat Ranger.
And on that note,
Legion out.
Legion out.
No.
Oh damn.
I'm
There we go.
leaving this group now.
Pre's had it up to here with Herb and his tomfoolery.